this is Tiffany back again for video number 2 in my Create Your Own Planner series. In this video, I'm creating wireframes or a blueprint that I like to use for vision and goal setting for the new year. In the previous video, in video number 1, I created some very basic wireframes for the reflection on the previous year and then a way to capture inspiration for the coming year. Just as a reminder, these are very basic wireframes, very practical, no frills, not super creative, but they allow space for you, for me, to make changes, make it better, draw, add art, add stickers, that sort of thing. So I'm not promising that they're like super pretty or frilly, but it definitely is a way to kind of create separate spaces to write out different things for your planner if you are creating one. And lastly, I just want to say, if you stick through me with this entire series, at the end I will be walking through this entire planner once it's done so you can see the whole finished project. It is, there is a method to the madness. It will include a mid-year review of goals. It includes quarterly reflections, things like that. So I welcome you to join me on this journey. Thanks for being here. And if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. Okay, this is, as I said before, this is the second video in the Create Your Own Planner series. In this video, I'm going to be creating the wireframes for what I call the vision and goals section of my planner. You can call this whatever you want. Again, these are wireframes, so if you decide to use it differently, that's of course totally fine. But before I do that, I want to just show you really quick. One of the things I do add is a page before the vision and goals section, which I will be creating on these blank pages here, is a dreams and manifestation section. And this is a place really just to kind of get out the things that I want to manifest in the next year, you know, dreaming, all of that really good creative stuff. And I leave this page blank in case there's a spillover from this page. And this is also a great place for some artistic, creative work, posting pictures, maybe a mini vision board, that sort of thing. So now I'm going to start, and I'm actually going to show you how I create this here. I like to create these little headers for, I don't know if that's a header or what, a thumbnail or whatever that would be called for my pages, but in my planner. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create this same graphic on this other side, because it's going to be very quick visually. When I'm flipping through the planner, I'll know exactly what it is. So the way I do that is, again, I'm working with squares. So, and again, you can use this however you would like, but I'm going to be using a pencil, and I do a very stepped process in this one. And what I do is I start at the 2 squares down here, go over one and border it, and just create a step here. And this right here at the top is I'm gonna draw my line for the width of 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the square that or rectangle rather, that I'm going to be putting the year in. I'm going to just frame this really quick. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to stare down, and sometimes I just like to freehand. On this section here, I'm going to draw down 6 cubes or 6 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my dot. Now I'll connect my dot with my trusty ruler. And again, I'm going to stare it. This bottom piece is also 6 cubes. I'm going to stare it and then connect these. And then when I come back to trace it with my dark black pen, I will write in what I want there. So what I'm going to do for this side of the planner is I am going to create 3 sections. For my planner, it's going to be mind, body, spirit. So what are the vision that I have and goals that I would like for the year related to my mind, my body, and my spirit. So that's exactly what I'm going to create right now. So I'm going to start actually creating my next wireframe 2 cubes from this corner here. So I'm going to put a little dot here, and then I'm going to count over 8 cubes. Put a dot there. That's going to start my title block. And the title block here is going to be 10 cubes. I'm going to put a little dot there. And then I'm going to frame it. Because again, I like to have mine pretty wide, about 2 square or 2 cube lengths, or width, whatever. I'm going to connect this dot here. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to take it all the way to the other side. But I'm going to stop about 1, 2 before, because I like to create a step. I'm actually going to do that over here as well. And again, I will erase this pencil later. Now going down for the length of this, it's going to be 12 cubes. Put a dot there at the bottom of that 12th one, and I'll connect it. I'm going to do my little step or stair, whatever that is. And sometimes the ruler is a little tough to kind of put down on this. I'm going to draw that. I'm going to do the same thing here and connect these. Moving on to the next one. I'm going to start from this corner and count down 3 cubes. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a little dot here, and I'm going to mirror from above. So I'll actually take this point here and eyeball the dot, put a dot here, and that begins my title block. And again, that's 10. Here, I'll just use this as a guide. Sometimes this is how I get things done a lot faster. Once you build the structure, you can start really, especially if you're just duplicating, you can make it a little bit faster. Go down, and I'm going to go down another 12. Connect the dot. And if you count the squares at the bottom here, in case that's easier than eyeballing it, this row right here, there's 25 here total. Should be about 25. So I ran off a little bit here, so I'll be erasing that later. Then my last section, I'm gonna eyeball this here. I'll just start with my title. Counting down 2 here. Hand drawing that. And I messed up the top a little bit. I think I'll leave it as is and fix it when I work on with the black pen. I'll go over it and just I'll erase it later. Then as far as the length of this bottom one, I take it down to almost the second to last from the top, because I'm going to do the corner here. Okay, so I have enough space for goals related to mind, body, spirit. Again, you can do whatever you would like to do. I also intentionally leave this space, free space, for anything else I may have forgotten I want to add, but it's also this creative space for artwork or stickers, what have you. You can also obviously adjust the lengths. Maybe you only want 2 squares, which is what I'm going to do, or yeah, 2 writing spaces, which is what I'm going to do on this side momentarily. So there you go. So there's that side, and I'm going to go ahead and do the tracing. Now I'm going to write my text in. So for here I'm going to write, actually I'll write vision and goals. And here I'm going to write mind, body, spirit, for me to fill out later. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the next page. So I'm going to do something similar to that. I'm going to put the same, I don't know, icon or identifier over on this side. And I'm also going to create 2 wireframes like this, but larger, for larger spaces to write goals in under different topics. So again, I'll start over on the right hand corner, and let me make sure I'm getting this right. Let's see, I'm going to actually use this as a guide here. That's the nice thing, is once you start building your wireframes and the things that you like, you can really start leaning on eyeballing what you've created already. So I'm gonna do I think it's gonna be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my title block there, and then again we'll have the year in it. And I did mess up. I'll just erase it so I don't confuse myself later. And I'm counting down 6 again in length. Okay, great. So I'm going to step over, so eyeballing from this corner, putting a dot here, 2 over. This is going to be my next corner here. And I'm going to count over 8. I'm going to put a dot there, and that's going to be where my title block begins. And my title block again is going to be 10 cubes. 1, 2. And again, I don't mind freehanding things with the pencil. I tend to be a perfectionist, but not so much with this stuff. I don't know why. So the length on this one is going to be, this top box is going to be 19. So 19, I'll put my dot there, connect it, and then I'm going to count over 25. Should be correct, lining up with this up here, and it did. That actually probably would have been faster than counting, is just kind of eyeballing it. My next block, from this corner, I'm gonna count down 2 cubes and put a dot. And that's going to begin my corner here. And I'll use this top as a guide since I already had done that. Ran a little bit long here. I'm gonna take care of that. And then I'm going to take this all the way down to the bottom of the page. Obviously, if you want to shorten it or do something a little bit different, you could. The other option you have is extending it out. If you don't want this creative space out here, but you want more writing space that's within the confines of a wireframe, you can actually take this out here. I have done that on other planner pages before. And I'm eyeballing the structure that I've already created above to use as a guide for the rest of this. Okay, so now I will be and I do use other colors besides black. In fact, most of my planners in the past have been in like green or blue, but I decided to use black for the purposes of this video just to make sure it was easy for people to see. And I think for these two sections, last year I used finance here, and I'm going to do that again because I always set financial goals. And I'm gonna leave this one blank because I want to think about what I'm going to put here, but if you come back and see the full walkthrough of this planner later, you'll see what I ended up putting in here. So this concludes this section, the vision and goals section of my planner for 2021, the building my own planner. The next video is what I'm going to do is leave this page blank, because one of the things I found is if I need overflow and more space, I can actually create another wireframe or just use this as a free space. But what I'll be putting on this page in the next video will be the year at a glance and how I handwrite that and walking through all of that. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video.